My New Life in a Lawless World. By Moffat, 1990. Chapter 1. Rebirth. Daniel Knight, a seasoned police officer, sat behind the wheel of his patrol car on a chilly evening. It was just another routine traffic stop, a silver sedan running a red light with a young woman behind the wheel. But tonight was different. Tonight, everything was about to change. Dispatch, this is Officer Knight, requesting a license and registration check on a silver sedan, license plate Delta Alpha Charlie 789. He spoke into his radio as he pulled up behind the car. 10-4, Officer Knight, standing by for license and registration, came the dispatcher's crackling response. As he walked up to the car, an uneasy feeling tugged at him. His instincts were usually spot on, and tonight they were telling him something was off. The young woman in the driver's seat looked unusually nervous. "Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?" he asked, his tone firm but gentle, placing his hand on the roof of her car. She stuttered, "No, I don't." "You ran a red light back there. I need to see your license and registration, please," he said, signaling for her to retrieve them. The woman fumbled through her purse, handing over the documents with shaking hands. As Daniel took them and turned to head back to his patrol car, his unease grew stronger. There was something unsettling about her. Suddenly, the radio crackled again. "Officer, be advised, that's a 1028. Repeat, a 1028. Backup is en route," the dispatcher informed him. Daniel's heart raced as he turned back to the woman. Before he could react, a deafening bang echoed, and searing pain pierced through his chest. He stumbled back, gasping for breath, and he fell to the ground. The silver sedan sped away, leaving him wounded and alone. His chest burned with intense pain. He tried to reach his radio, but just couldn't find the strength. Darkness closed in, and he wondered if this was truly how it would end, dying alone on the side of the road. As he lay on the cold pavement, the pain began to fade, and an unexpected calm enveloped him. His last thoughts were of regret. If only I had one more chance to make a difference. Suddenly, a glowing screen materialized before him, its presence both surreal and comforting. The screen's soft, melodic chime cut through the darkness, standing out sharply against his fading world. System initialization. You have been fatally wounded. A second chance at life has been offered. Do you accept? Yes. No. The options pulsed softly, waiting for his response. Even though he was growing weaker, Daniel was shocked. His mind, trained to assess and react, worked feverishly. This had to be a hallucination, a trick of a dying brain desperate for salvation. Yet, the screen felt undeniably real, its presence oddly comforting. With a monumental effort, he focused his fading consciousness on the yes option. He didn't know if it would work. What if he had to touch it? All he could do was hope that this was enough. With every remaining ounce of strength, he willed his choice. The screen shimmered, and new text appeared, confirming his choice. Rebirth initiated. Preparing new life. Please wait. The pain and cold vanished entirely, replaced by a dull ache in his head, like a distant thunderstorm approaching. Slowly, this discomfort spread throughout his body. Daniel found himself enveloped in a dark, warm, fleshy tunnel. The sensation was far from pleasant, but a welcome relief from the pain of being shot. He tried to make sense of what was happening, but it was too surreal. The world around him blurred as the tunnel seemed to pulse and contract. A soft, inviting light appeared in the distance, radiating a soothing warmth that beckoned him. In that moment, he realized this was really happening. He was being reborn. The light felt oddly familiar, like a distant memory he couldn't quite grasp. As Daniel emerged from the womb, he opened his eyes for the first time. Lying in his new mother's arms, he noticed her delicate features. With her light skin and golden eyes, she appeared fragile and pale, probably from childbirth. Her curly brown hair framed her face, giving her a gentle and nurturing look. Suddenly, the interface from before appeared next to his mother, making Daniel jump in surprise. The display read, Elma, race, human, relation, mother. Status, weak from childbirth. Note, strong emotional bond detected. The interface's soft glow illuminated Elma's pale, tired face, highlighting her fragility as she smiled gently. "Welcome, baby boy," she weakly whispered. While he couldn't understand her words, her voice had a soft melody that filled him with warmth. Another screen appeared, initiating language comprehension enhancement. Language comprehension skill acquired. You can now understand the native tongue of your current world. Daniel's eyes widened in astonishment as he absorbed everything. It was like stepping into a fantasy manga or the RPG games he had loved so much in his previous life. Observing the interface, he noticed several tabs floating off to the side. With a concentrated thought, he was able to shuffle between them effortlessly, each tab revealing different information. Using the interface, he glanced at his mother's stats. Her HP and MP were both alarmingly low. Although Daniel wasn't too alarmed by this, he figured it was due to childbirth. The interface's existence, however, filled him with awe and curiosity. His attention shifted to a soft, glowing light approaching him. It was a group of translucent creatures moving gracefully across the ceiling and walls, leaving a mesmerizing trail of light. His geeky side took over. These creatures were unmistakably slimes. "No way!" he thought to himself in excitement. The system interface flickered to life again, overlaying the creatures with information. Identifying: light bright slime. Species: Luminare gelatina. Description: a non-hostile creature known for its soothing light, often attracted to pure mana sources. Rarity: common. As he marveled at these creatures, his gaze landed on the midwife. Mira, with her striking fox ears and long red hair, was a vision of grace. Her golden eyes and well-built yet feminine frame made her stand out. She moved with a fluid elegance that contrasted with the rough surroundings. He was instantly taken with her. Daniel's thoughts raced with disbelief. "Dude, is that really a fox chick?" he thought, eyes wide as he stared at Mira. He anxiously awaited the familiar chime of the system interface to provide more information, but nothing appeared. Frustrated, he concentrated harder, willing the system to reveal details. His mind buzzed with curiosity and a hint of nervousness as he tried to make sense of his new reality. Attempting to initiate. Error. User input unrecognized. Please relax and try again. Not giving up, he kept focusing on her and trying different mental commands. After a moment, the system responded. Identifying: Mira. Race: beastkin, fox. Relation: nursemaid. Status: healthy. Note: your interest has been noted. Daniel couldn't help but feel grateful for this new opportunity. In his previous life, he had secretly been a furry, but never in his wildest dreams did he think he would have the chance to experience something like this. However, the reality of the world he was reborn into soon set in. After seeing the horrific sight through the window just behind Mira, he became aware of the chaos and disorder outside the shack they were in. The village was in ruins, shacks thrown together from scraps, streets littered with garbage, and smoke rising from smoldering ruins. As he continued to look out the window, a feeling of confusion and dread grew. The world he had been reborn into was far from the paradise he had imagined. "What the hell is going on out there?" he thought to himself, and almost like it was triggered by his thoughts, the system interface flickered to life once more, displaying a new update. Attention! Current world status. The absence of formal law and order has led to rampant scavenging, theft, and violence. In this chaotic environment, survival hinges on your strength, resourcefulness, and adaptability. As he read the information, the dark reality of his new world settled over him like a heavy blanket. Just as that prompt finished, he spotted a group of men armed with crude weapons emerging from the shadows. Their presence filled him with fear. He and his mother were easy targets in this harsh world. Despite his fear, he watched intently, knowing he had to become strong to survive. Suddenly, he heard his mother's frantic scream. Turning his attention to the door, he saw rugged men barging in. Their tattered clothing and scarred faces spoke of harsh lives. They stared fiercely at Elma, who clutched her baby tightly, pleading for them to leave. One man sneered, Look at this mess. Just trash. He shoved aside belongings, his eyes gleaming with malice. Let's make this quick, he growled, as others began rifling through their possessions. Elma's hand shook violently as she gripped the man's arm, desperation clear in her voice. Please, just leave us alone. We have nothing of value, she pleaded, her words choked with fear. Tears streamed down her face as she clutched her baby tightly, her eyes pleading for mercy. The man's sneer only deepened as he raised his hand to strike her, the cruelty in his eyes a stark contrast to her vulnerability. "Elma!" cried Mira, charging to block the attack. Her eyes blazed with defiance as she threw herself in front of Elma. "You'll have to go through me first," she shouted. The man, without any hesitation, punched Mira in the face, throwing her into the bed with Elma and her newborn. Mira lay on the ground, holding her face. "Good girl," the man said with a cruel smirk, while others watched and laughed. Elma, mustering strength, crawled to her baby. Cradling him close, she whispered, "Keir, I'm sorry for bringing you into this world of chaos." Her words touched him deeply. Looking up at her with determination, Keir resolved not to let this world defeat him. Updating. Please wait. New name. Keir.